All right. Good morning, Karen Scholl, Operations Section Chief with the Alaska Incident Management Team for your update for morning briefing for your September 27th. The entire complex is looking at 873,079 acres, and we're at 43% containment. For today's operation, we'll start over on the east side today. We have a crew still working in north of the Yola Boley Mountain area, working on containment on their last little chunk down here. They're also pulling out about 7 to 8 miles of excess pumps and hose and materials out of all these contingency lines that are out here. So getting that out, getting it peeled off is really important for us. We don't want to leave any of that stuff out there, and it can be utilized in other areas as needed. Up in the Red Mountain area, yesterday they were able to start firing our little chunk of dozer line that was put in. And what that's doing is allowing us to fire with the winds. So wind at our back is what we like to say. So with the northeast winds that started coming around yesterday, they were able to lay fire on our dozer line under our conditions that we think are most appropriate. And what that's going to do is it's going to burn towards the main fire and consume the fuels that are in between, the ground fuels mostly, in order to keep the fire from advancing to the northwest when winds stop or turn back around. So we're creating a black line in here. This operation went really well last night. We got about a mile of fire on the ground here, and we'll be checking that with aircraft today to make sure it stays within our containment lines. But with the winds today coming out of the northeast, that's very beneficial, so the fire will want to just push onto itself. Up in our drop point 127 area on the northeast portion of the fire, yesterday we were just holding this in check, and again we're waiting for the firing operation to come up from the south and then across from the west to join that before we take too much action. So helicopters were holding that in check. We expect the same today, that they're just going to keep that in check until everything comes together. Overnight, crews were able to bring the fire all the way down our main dozer line to the 36 and worked their way around the Forest Service station down there. Everything looks really good. Everything's holding in place. We had light winds down in the corridor last night. We had probably gusts of 25 up on the ridges yesterday. So that wind is expected to surface, meaning it's going to come down off the ridges and make its way down into the drainage area and along that 36 corridor. So we're expecting the winds to pick up today, and that's both helpful and alerting a little bit. We know it's coming, but we're on high alert for any embers to be pushed across the dozer line that we can go and catch. So crews right now are actually starting firing along the 36, so they're going to start from the black corner that they created yesterday and start dragging fire slowly back into the wind. And again, the winds are favorable for now, and we'll keep that in mind as the day progresses. If the winds are pushing our line, we'll slow our ignitions and make sure that we can handle and pick up any spots as they come along. On the Ruth side, yesterday and last night, the crews did a really great job of getting mop up. They got about 50 feet in off the containment lines into the black, and that was really critical. So today, as the winds surface, again, the winds were up high on the ridge. Today, the winds are going to be wanted to be compressed and pushed down by the high pressure. Winds are going to go down the hill and start pushing west into Ruth Valley, into the drainage here. You guys are familiar with those kinds of winds. And today is really going to be a good test, today and tomorrow. And this is a really important reason why we've asked you guys to stay out, and we've evacuated this area. If we get any embers off anything high up on the hill, it perhaps wants to jump our lines. And so our folks are poised to go and chase any spots that come out of any of this firing that they've been doing over the last couple of days. So just be heads up if you're still in the area, just to stay off the roads and allow our folks to do their job and to be out looking for and preparing for and going after any spot fires that may come of this event. Over the next 2 days, today and tomorrow, we do expect to get some spots out of our containment lines, and that's just normal operations for us. We anticipate that, and the reason why we have everybody in here working so hard to bring fire down close to our containment lines is to reduce that amount. So what happens is those fuels on the ground, which actually carry the fire, have been reduced, they've been mopped up, and so that reduces the amount of spotting we anticipate. However, we don't have any control right now over anything interior that may torch and then send embers with the wind. So those are the things that we're looking at. We've got good people in place, a fair amount of equipment and personnel to handle that. So just be heads up in that area and just keep allowing our firefighters to do the good work that they're doing so far. We do anticipate heavy aircraft use today. We should have really good air, meaning clean air, not smoky, to be able to look in along the corridor and to find anything. We did a lot of pre-treating yesterday, and what that means is we treated the offside. So we have the black side, which is south of the 36. We want that all considered black, not slicked off, but just the fuel's reduced so fire won't continue to move. And then in the intertie between where the highway is and where the transmission lines go, we call that the intertie. They were able to place retardant in that area. We had a lot of heavy aircraft, large aircraft, dropping retardant line in between that intertie. And what that would do is if we get spots into that intertie area, we'll be able to, that'll slow it down and allow us time to get in and catch those spots. And we don't really want to paint the whole forest pink, so we use it where we think it's most likely to spot, and according to our fire behavior analysts and the meteorologists, where they're telling us that the spotting might happen. And with the complex geography that is right around Forest Glen, there's a good likelihood fire will spot to the west and to the northwest potentially, and so we're poised and ready to go after that and have pre-treated some of those fuels, and we'll be looking to continue that effort today, both with fixed wing and rotor aircraft. So that brings you up for your morning briefing. Hope you have a good day, and we'll talk to you guys later.